By the way, like the process of thinking, it's not that complicated. It is the combination of two things. Thinking, what I mean by thinking is analyzing and having memory. Because when you analyze something, you have the memory of its properties, of like how it's gonna react, and then you have like the memory of something else and its properties and it's how it's gonna react. And when you analyze those things, you compare them. When you compare the properties of those things, you have like something in the memory that's gonna give you the right answer of which property is better than the other property in a certain context. And remembering the context has properties, and like mixing those properties of the context with the properties of object 1, then object 2 gets you a result. For example, if like I'm in a context, the context is a fight, and I have a gun and the other guy has a knife. The context here is a fight, and like the properties of fighting is like fighting itself. So like then we move on to the properties of like the guy who has a gun and the guy who has a knife. And we know the properties of a gun and we know the properties of a knife. And in the context of a fight, we're gonna highlight the properties of the deadliness of the gun and the properties of the deadliness of the knife. And in this situation, we're gonna find out that like a gun in this situation is gonna win. That's thinking. And we're gonna move on to the other like more complicated, but it's not that complicated. The characteristics of each thing and the characteristics of the context. Someone fucked around and found out, and someone remembered it and it moved on to humanity. The main thing of like exploring something new is having someone like trying things. Even in trying new things, there is a context. Even in trying new things, there is a context. And when you try a new thing in the context, it redefines like the thing and it redefines the whole context. The way like for a context to change, like for example, the invention of guns, it changed like the context of war. That's why we have things called revolutionary, like it changes like the whole context of something. And even the invention of guns was done by combining like things that already existed, and the combination of things that